Guys, I want to welcome you to the Bitcoin kingdom and, to the crypto kingdom at Bitcoin Spike. This is London. I'm a former financial advisor, guys. Not financial advisor, financial professional. Let me say that. Not your financial advisor. Let me say that. I'm a financial professional. I was a former in charge of analyst over a $1 billion equity fund across the table from Harvard. To put that straight, I don't know why I said that, but I'm not your financial advisor. In fact, I couldn't be right now because we're dealing with crypto. We're dealing with Bitcoin. That's the good news. Yeah, it's not financial advice. Guys, if you are new to crypto, welcome. And if you have a financial advisor that handles crypto, that'd be great. We'd love to talk to them. But I don't think that they really exist right now. I know JP Morgan has just plugged in some exciting news, guys, the last few weeks has plugged in to crypto. And no, I am not a financial advisor, nor have I been. Don't want to be. I always tell people I'm not going to talk to your wife, your husband, your kids, anything like that, guys. This is all about crypto. It's all about Bitcoin right now. Also want to shout out to everybody on D-Race, guys. D-Race was a coin I brought to the VIP in the back at the startup of D-Race in and around. What was the price that I brought that to you guys? In and around like 7 cents. What is it? 7.60. I need to pull my shades down to get this right, guys. We opened up on D-Race. Let's go into this the specifics exactly. Down into, if you were part of the startup, guys, it's down as like 36, 35 cents. In and around guys, it's at around $4. I can confirm that today. Big gains, and you guys, you hustled for that one. I'll go ahead and say you guys did. You worked for that one because I think Gate actually suspended it for a bit. I believe that was during the time that Crypto.com picked it up. So very interesting that Crypto.com would pick that up. I'll have to look into those details. You guys can look into those details with me, and we'll go through that. But we're going to go through Bitcoin today. All of the details. Let me pull up this other screen. There we go. Excuse me. Okay, so we can pull this up. King Jose is in the house. What's up, King Jose? Nice to see you, brother. Very nice to see you. You guys know we were dealing with, and I want to bring up, first of all, guys, I did a little bit of diagnostics here. I looked at this on Bitcoin. Now this, let me just hide this light for a second. Look at this, guys. I did some diagnostics. I reviewed the fact, guys, if you'll look at this, we stayed in a sideways pattern on Bitcoin for 3 years, guys. I want to bring this up because the longer that we stay in a pattern like this, the longer that we bottom out. If you guys remember around 2017 into 2018, when it got to about 18,000, okay, and around 18, 19,000 Bitcoin, that's the history of Bitcoin. Then for 3 years, it stayed kind of sideways here, guys. I think that's a big indicator that, yeah, the prices of Bitcoin are high right now, maybe, but guys, that was a long time to consolidate. We really have to bring that to the forefront of like the entire community and talk about the fact that, yeah, for 3 years it was sideways. Guys, we expect some positive price action, like 64,863.10, $64,863.10. Like that's a good price for Bitcoin. I'm going to say that's a nice price for Bitcoin after 3 years of consolidating. I mean, I just have to say, you know, I looked at that today. I did that diagnostics, and I measured that exactly up right at 3 years. Just under 3 years was the consolidation period. And generally, the longer that you spend in this type of a consolidation period, guys, the more price action you can expect on the way out of it. So, yeah, I know that it's high. People are saying, well, it's so high. It could go higher, guys. I just think that, you know, after that degree of an extended, you know, sideways consolidation here, I just think that this is merited. Like the price action you've been seeing recently with Bitcoin, I just think it's in line with that duration of a consolidation. I think it's justified in terms of that length of a consolidation. So we have broken out this year. You guys know it's been a great year for Bitcoin. We've done great the last 30 to 45 days. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to all the VIP. Shout out to just everybody. Just looking at Dirk, maybe some coffee money to start. King Jose, I brought that to you guys in the very beginning. You're just now thinking about investing in Dirk. If you are, it's a cool NFT coin now. But I did bring that back right at the startup. So right at the startup when that first came out, it's been volatile. So the ones who have held with Dirk, DERC, I just want to say, hey, congrats to you guys. It hadn't been easy. It's been a tough hold, but it's been like a 5x, 6x. You guys do the math on that. It's been impressive. So yeah, if you want to get involved in it, if you like the coin, I always tell people, if you like something, you invest in it. That's Warren Buffett's way of going about things. He's done quite well. He's done decently well. So that's kind of his mantra. That's what we stick to as well. I want to bring up first of all this bull flag. This is on the daily. It's very clearly expressed also on the weekly. Just a bull flag, guys. Classic bull flag is a run up with essentially a channel, a downward sloping channel. Okay, that's just really clearly expressed right now. We would love to break out of this bull flag and run to the upside. We would love to do that up to about 100,000, 101,000. When I look at this sideways consolidation, I mean, I don't want to say that the market could get bored, but guys, we've had incredible price action the last 45 days. You have a lot of expectations in the market right now in terms of people who've been investing in it. We've seen phenomenal gains. We don't want to even think about this sideways action for 3 years. That was a boring time for, I'm just going to tell you guys, for 2018, at the start of 2018, about January in 2018, all the way up until about, guys, October, November of last year. It's just, Bitcoin was kind of boring. So we've had a great, tremendous year now, very, very due after 3 years of consolidation. We needed some price action. Bitcoin needs to be it needs to be a centerpiece. It needs to be a topic of discussion. It needs to be volatile. I'll go ahead and say that. That's what creates our returns. You guys know we love to trade. We believe, I'll just say this. We do believe in heavy reserve capital at the lower levels, right? And always behind that, really, have your big reserves in the background. You guys know that. It prevents you from, experiencing too much loss, because it is volatile at times. And so for me to say, well, we'd like it to be more volatile, right? We just want that volatility is what gives us the price action. You guys understand that? And the price action, as we look at this, guys, let's just measure out one more time this year what we've gotten to. Then I'll get to that wedge that we had yesterday. And that wedge was a little bit frustrating. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that wedge. But guys, thus far in the past 47 days up until this point, here, just over 50,000, about 52,492 was about an 80% return in 45 days. That's pretty sweet, guys. That's a lot of fun. That's people I spoke today. I want to tell you guys, just focus in 1 second. I spoke today. He said, this and that consulary, et cetera, et cetera. I'll say a consulary, some sort of position somewhere. I'll say that. I spoke with him and I talked to him about the returns that we've gotten here on the station, et cetera. And no one wanted to give us the time of day. You guys know that in around 30,000, everyone was like, well, what are you doing with Bitcoin? I think it's low. I'm like, yeah, that's why we're dealing with it now. Now the sentiment has changed to where he was like, I told him the returns, everything else. He's like, well, what do I need to get in? And I'm like, what do you need to get in now? I was like, yeah, how much do you need to get in? That's what the people want to know now. You tell them about your returns, everything else, and these are high-ranking people. And I'm like, it's just funny. It's funny. They're like, well, what do I need to get in? And I'm like, now you want to get in? I'm like, we just, we make the money. Now you want to, what is an odd sentiment of the market? You guys will understand. It's after people make money, well, then they want to repeat that, right? But they don't want to buy low and sell high. That's what we're all about. So it was funny. It wasn't just another guy I'm meeting and this and that. And, he'd bring up conversation. No, this is this is a guy, a consulary style type person. Okay, I'll just tell you. So it was very interesting for him to say, on a non-official basis, completely. Me neither. Absolutely not. Nor could I be. But he just says, how much would I need to get in? What do I need to get in? And I'm like, well, I told him what I said precisely was, I said, you need a lot of patience. That's what I told him. I was like, you need a lot of patience. Because right now, he's like, he wants to get in. I'm like, you need to understand that we set up our trades for 2 and 3 months on big trades. So understand the phenomenal 45 days that we just had. Understand that, yes, we spend months building into those trades. So, yes, it's in 45 days that we achieve that. But, guys, as we go back, let's go into the 4 hours so we can get a little bit of perspective here. Understand that from the top, we were building into that position for quite some time. You guys know with the alpha traders that I was with, et cetera, training them. If you guys will look at this was a good 97 days, guys. You're looking at 3 months to prepare, the 2 or 3 months, in terms of me telling him you need the patience is what you need, right? So looking at that 3 months to accomplish what we did in 45 days, guys, those are it's us, guys. It's you, it's me. Angel, shout out to you. Everybody in the back. It's just, guys, that's the attitude that wins here. It's the 3 months working into the 45 days that really makes that quarter of the year or the half of the year, or it could be the year, guys. So that's the mindset that does win. And so when people ask you about it, well, I want to get in now, make sure maybe remind them of something like that. Let them know, we spent 3 months preparing for the entries that we got in and around this level. Below the 30,000, you guys know we brought that in the back in terms of that small little ascending triangle. Let's review that just for you guys so you can kind of appreciate how this started. And it was, if we can get back there, this is on the 5 minute. I just want to, if I can rewind for a second to show you guys how this did begin down and below 30. And you guys see it's a long journey down there on the 5 minute, but I want to bring it up because we did bring this up in the back, this small little move. And if you could believe it or not, and you guys do, because in the back we brought this, I brought this to you guys, was this move right here. Just this small ascending. I said it looks like it could be an ascending triangle. Bam, in the back, just like this. And guys, once we saw this move, it was just literally, I was like, it's on, right? It is on. But it was this small little ascending triangle around 29,000. Guys, 29,750 is marked in here. 29,750 just internally. So that was, me bringing this up before this had really broken out. Just this 1-2 with an ascending point right here, a flat top with an ascending support, guys. a resistance, a flat resistance with an ascending support. That is what keyed me off and signaled me to go ahead and alert the VIPs in the back, etc. Guys, we may have an ascending triangle here. So that was a critical function. I talked with Angel yesterday, and shout out to Andrew. Not sure if Andrew's out there, but shout out to Andrew. You guys know throughout the entirety of this portion in here, I was literally, and I had not been doing this at all since the top, but literally just showing GIF images of bulls digging in the horns, kicking up in the back, everything else. That this just looked to me like a huge bullish symbol in and around this 30,000 to 31,000, particularly into 32,000. It just became bullish. So that was a big, a key facet for the team, for the group, everyone here. Dip action before 40,000. Good question. Before 70,000 plus. I like to hear that. Good thinking, huh? I like to think that. You guys understand, since this consolidation for 3 years, we're due for pricing, guys. We're just due for it. 64,863.10, $64,863.10. Guys, that was the all-time high, right? And around this April point, right? April 4th, ended about there. So looking at the price action, we want more price action, right? If it's going to be volatile, be volatile. If you need to correct a bit, correct a bit. We want to charge, we want to bring our big cash positions into the market. We want to break through this bullish flag. We just do, and it's just not that far away. If we could get out up on top of this, guys, it's a nice pattern to play. Let's dig into the technicals a little bit more on the lower time frames, and we can talk about dips or not. I want to mention to you, if you're looking at dips and entries, I want to mention the CCI, okay? The Commodity Channel Index is an indicator that I would recommend you to look at. 45. Nice to see you, 45. Like that a lot. Like that a whole lot. In terms of that, look at the Commodity Channel Index. Do that for me. Put that indicator on your chart and look at your entries. If you're looking for dips and looking for entries on dips and consistent trades on Bitcoin, make sure you have that CCI. People don't talk about it at all. It's a very, very stable, solid oscillator, solid indicator. We work on entries and exits. I think you'll be pleased if you're looking at buying the dip on Bitcoin. Please look at the CCI. We do that a lot in the back, and everything else. We're trying to share that information so people can have a good experience with Bitcoin. Let's go in and dig into this descending wedge that we had, because Bitcoin was not that friendly. I'm going to say that, guys, and sometimes it's not, guys. The reason I think is that we were up against this targeted line of resistance, and I had called that out. You guys know, called this line of resistance out previously about two sessions ago. 2 sessions ago. I'll say, not unfortunately or fortunately, it was a good take for people. You guys knew exactly where we were expressed in terms of that resistance. So I was okay with it because we had talked about it. Now, what I talked about yesterday was a breakout. We really didn't have much of a breakout yesterday. I'm going to say, from this wedge formation, it was clearly indicated. The one good thing I'm going to say about this, there's one good thing about this wedge formation we talked about yesterday. It gave you, as someone's talking about the dip, it gave you an excellent entry. We had drawn this line out of support, and you guys know throughout this, it got about the middle of the day, about 3/4 way through the day, Bitcoin had a big kind of hemorrhage to the downside. You guys know that. All the alts just completely deflated for a bit, guys. But what did it do? It perfectly hit down onto this line of support we had talked about yesterday. I was very pleased to see that, and I wanted to know who of you, had drawn that line out. I had drawn that along the candlesticks here, guys, along the candlesticks, okay? I had gone to a lot of trouble in different time frames to try and express this the most accurately we could, and bam, when Bitcoin dropped, it hit right there and provided a nice trade for you guys. I just want to talk about that. That was a decent trade, guys, not a bad entry for those of you who decided to saddle up and get involved in the game. It was, you got a percentage, etc. Now, I know you're not involved in Bitcoin to make $100 into $101, right? You're just not. We expect more volatility like that. 45's in here talking about, can we get a dip before we go to 70? I understand, guys. I talk about like three key levels right now, really two. One being 45. The one we just came from is 30. 30 is so solidly stuck in there. It is literally just solid in there. Everyone wants to go there. I'm going to tell you, okay, if we could go back there and buy at those prices again right now, that would be really nice. I don't see that immediately indicated, but it's just solidly in the framework in terms of that 30,000. We can kind of review that just for a moment. Just look how solidly we are just carved in around this 30,000 zone. It is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To get through this wall would just be something else, guys. You're at 28.8, you're at 29.4, 29.9, 33. That's 30,300, 30,800, 235. So in terms of that, you are just, that is just like it is bedrock right now in terms of the price action. So when we looked at this yesterday, I did say we're ready to trade this on the breakout. I know in the back Freddie, shout out to you. I know we tried to maybe trade that on the breakout. What it did essentially was push. I think there's just a recognition right now that this line of resistance is above the same one we talked about, and there just wasn't any momentum. If you look at the breakout here, it was just really, we did call it in the back. We were active, we were live, discussing back and forth. Freddie, you were counting it in one room as I was in the other room, and I was like, okay, breakout. And I turned over there like, Freddie's on it. He got the breakout. Freddie's doing a great job trading. Very, very nice to see you trading. But when something stagnates like that, when it starts to just, literally just flat line to the right, I mean, it's almost like it's just giving us time just to get out. I mean, it literally, I think Freddie, you exited along with some other people, but it just, that was your breakout right here in terms of this candle. Small move, and it wasn't really something that we were, it didn't act very excited. The buyers didn't really charge in, and I'm like, oh, okay, it maybe, 0.5%. When it starts to just flatline like this, and you guys know kind of a doji right here, a little hammer formation right here. It just, it was kind of clear, like, well, maybe things just aren't going to go right now. What it's done is essentially push into this pattern. I guess we could redraw this again. Now, there's a danger when you've already pushed on one pattern and we want to redraw it again. You guys understand that. It was kind of clearly indicated initially. It may behave in line with this wedge now, but I'm always a little bit cautious in terms of redrawing when something's pushed. Then what do we want to do? Well, it pushes again, we want to redraw. It's like, well, at some point we need to kind of, we need to pick up I'd say the catch here would be something in line with this. I would say the good part of us potentially pushing like that. Let's go to the line chart real quickly and take a look at this. You'll see a differentiation here between the line and the candles quite a bit. I believe that we are in, somewhat of an express, and it's not a perfect formation. Bitcoin's being a little difficult today. I'm just going to say that. It's like we want some more price action. It's not really giving it to us. That happens sometimes. Then it will surprise us. It likes to relax us. It likes to get us all, kind of unwound, looking at the altcoins, everything else. And then Bitcoin's up 6%, right? That happens all the time. So in terms of the expression of this, it is a bullish flag. I'm going to say that, okay? A bullish flag formation. It is wanting to drown out a little bit below this. What I'm going to say, though, is if we were to complete something like this, I'm just going to say something like this, or if it wanted to maintain and really surprise us to the upside, I'm going to talk about this figure right here because, guys, if we do measure this up, the classic saying is that flags fly at half mast, okay? They fly at half mast. Guys, that would put us over and above this key level of resistance above here, and that would be huge. I'm going to tell you guys that. We failed this line of resistance and along the line here, on the candles and on the line, I believe, as well. Yeah, we did. And if we could get back up above and maintain that line, it would be huge. It would be really, really nice. So we'd love to see that. But in terms of capital exposure, I just want to encourage you guys. Bitcoin is the ultimate training ground. I want to let you guys know as we day trade, as we also carry up maybe heavier brackets. We have heavier brackets with larger positions in Bitcoin, and we also like to day trade maybe with different amounts. That'll depend upon your level of risk tolerance. Okay, but as we do that, guys, we're just, that makes it a lot easier. And I talked about the heavy cash reserves yesterday. Jay, what's up, brother? Nice to see you, Jay, in the house. So as I talk about that, guys, there's a reason I talk about heavy cash reserves. When you get into like heavy cash reserves, instead of deploying all of your cash, I'd say, on the, we were on a descending wedge here, which you can still see pretty clearly delineated here with this kind of fake out here. What that does is when you establish, and Bitcoin's very good at this, it's very good at faking people out. What it's doing is wiping out a lot of options. You guys know that. I talked about that yesterday, day before. I've talked about that for a long time. It's wiping out options. People go into options immediately on the breakout. They're going to go in long. They're going to write an option on a long contract. And guys, understand, Bitcoin is just a master at just completely peeling them off the books. You guys know that. So be careful of that. Having essentially your heavy cash reserves is going to protect you against big, moves against you. Why? Because guys, you're not really exposed on an option position. A lot of people will say, well, I want to get 10 times, this move right now. Guys, those are the guys that don't last a long time. And the people around them don't last a long time. So we want you to last. So I'll talk about heavy cash reserves, maybe in a larger bracket while you're day trading with a different position, right? So, the indicated values right now, I'm going to say is 45,000. We brought that up in and around this area in here, 45,000. If you have, I don't know, if you're operating in line with that kind of denotation, 45,000 or so, you're currently still up about 5% right now. If you've held that position, I think that's a comfortable level to look at, about 45,000. Then we still have the 30 as the backdrop, always with the heavy reserve cash, guys. I never want you overexposed at a higher price. This is great training grounds. I'm just going to bring that up again. It's great training grounds, guys, for you to be able to learn to day trade. Okay, a lot of people want to trade full time. We have had great experience. A lot of people are working towards that. I've had people kind of graduate from the channel and move on. They are full time. That's just what they do. So shout out to all the people who have learned at this channel and are doing really well and are continuing to kill it in the market. That's one of our goals, is to try and be able to bring that level level of I say that level of market skill, right, to the community. So as we look at this, guys, it's a really ill-expressed bull flag right now. I've seen worse. Okay, I will say I've seen worse. So as we look at this, it's a little bit steep. Let's go back to the daily, and I want to talk about what are the bull flags that have liked to complete, or the bullish type formations that have liked to complete before. Let's move this and let's take a look at this flag, guys. Let's take a look at this flag that Bitcoin got into. This was earlier in the year. This was around January. If you guys remember that, absolutely, January. It had around 41,000. And some people on TV, some big investment banks saying Bitcoin would never get above this and that. Guys, that was a bullish flag formation, which did complete, okay? And it completed right in line with the repetition of the height of the flagpole on up to the next level. So as we look at this current situation where we're in, I just wanted to bring a little more perspective to you in terms of what can complete on Bitcoin, because sometimes it's not always that well lined out. Just be prepared for that upside. Be prepared for a dramatic break out to the upside if we can get it. So in terms of that, you are in from 43 still. Hey, very nice. Jay's in from 43 still, the entry. Jay Suave, former BlackRock and JP Morgan. What is up, Jay? We love your level of experience and dedication to other people, and you're just killing it. You are a true gentleman and a scholar at that, and very industrious in terms of your approach to the market. We very much appreciate having you, and I mean that honestly. Absolutely. So Jay is in at an entry at 43. Very, very nice. That's just a beautiful, beautiful entry. You can see Jay picked up on some of these deep digs in here. We love when it digs. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, that's when guys can make, you can make 5% in 5 seconds sometimes, guys, if you have your orders set up below. Let's talk about that today. What does that strategy entail? Well, that strategy entails essentially, guys, coming up with your Fibonacci's ahead of time. You guys know how to draw them, guys, just from the low to the high. We'll normally draw it up to the candlestick wick, and guys, we'll denote it along the line of the baseline, right here, the baseline of the previous move, this interval here. So you can see we're right at about that 38.2, and that's, that is, let's see, is that on the hourly? It is. Let's go to the 4 hourly real quickly, see if there's much of a differentiation. I thought about bringing up some of the macro indicators, and I think we need to do that. I shared the exact fib with you guys in the back, definitely, and I think yesterday you took some screenshots of that. I was happy to be able to share those with you. I want to go through a few different, let's see a few different. If we could go through kind of an indicator here, let me draw this up to about 64,86310. That's about close enough. I want to talk about on the macro level, the Fibonacci's and where we're at today about this 38.2, guys. That 38.2 essentially was what we just contacted on the macro. Now, that's not to a ground zero. That's in line with the preceding channel being eliminated, essentially the establishment of the trend to the top, okay, which is $64,863.10, $64,863.10, right? So we can see that the big hit that we had here, and I want to eliminate this so you don't think that's the price action, though it could be. You can see that the level that we just hit was this 38.2, that 44,000, that kind of that sweet spot, and around that 45,000. That I indicated beforehand. So normally when I'm telling you, like, we have different levels, that 45,000 is clearly indicated on the 38.2 if we draw the Fibonacci from this initiation of the trend by eliminating the previous channel, guys. Eliminate the previous channel to define that trend. And so that 45,000 is indicated. And Jay, I'm impressed but not surprised that you got underneath that. And let's just talk about that. Jay swooped in underneath that 45,000, underneath the 38.2, looking for additional value. So very, very nice move, Jay. Way to go. But I do want to indicate those levels because, guys, those are some macro levels in and on below that will give you essentially here this big confluence here where we saw a lot of different price action and along. Let's go to the lines. All of these hit on into this golden pocket area, and that's denoted by this kind of, I'd say, escalated in line with the most recent trend Fibonacci. This is the level that's just been pounded in along this 30,000 to 32,000 that has just been reinforced so heavily. That is your golden pocket, right? That is that essentially 61.8 to the 65th percent retracement, and that means what, guys? That is going to be the trend expression and retracing or pulling back a bit into that 61.8 to the 65th percentile. Those retracements have gotten us here. Those were a lot of the key entries that we had, and we had a lot of confidence entering into those positions because of the fact that, guys, they are the golden pocket and they're in line with those Fibonacci. So as you look at those, line these out for yourselves. What's the next one down that we look at? 38,698. That's indicated. I'm just going to say that's a level that's indicated. We're already at the 38.2. That would be the 50% retracement. You guys have that that golden pocket below that we talked about sufficiently, but there's not that many levels between here and there. You can dig into the micro if you choose. Absolutely, you can dig into the micro. Like on this, for instance, this level right here, we can dig into the micro on this, and we can trade this on the fibs. Let's go ahead and go into the 1 hourly on that. And clearly, it's just not that difficult, guys, as you're looking at hitting your pricing targets. And it's all about pricing targets. You guys know that. It's all about pricing targets. A lot of times what we will do on these situations, guys, I want to let you know, is we will denote on these. You guys know kind of our style is to denote, and this will give you a lot of this price action in here to play this a bit more aggressively, because I don't want to just back off the entirety of the situation. But as you look at this, as we eliminate the prior channel, again, the best strategy is to eliminate that channel, begin your Fibonacci here, draw it up to the top of the price action. And guys, that's going to be essentially the most, I'm going to say the most realistic, solid, I say the solid Fibonacci that you can come up with. If you do draw it like that, you'll see that we literally just established what could be a double bottom, guys. I'm just going to say right now, I'd want to see that play out. But on the hourly chart, a double bottom right in that golden pocket, that 61.8 to the 65th percent retracement. Okay, right in above, just above that 45,000. So I think that that is a good measure for you guys to look at. There are levels below. Don't forget that 86% retracement. Not everyone uses the 86% retracement. You can always double click. You guys know how to get into that. Or you line up about the top of the wedge we broke out from as well. Okay, the 38K. Talking about 38K. Yeah, absolutely. We have a little bit of differentiation on the different time frames, certainly. As you guys look at adding in the 86, you guys know you can add in any figure you like, that 0.86, and you're going to have to do let's do a 0.86 is going to be a key feature, bam, of your pricing action to add into your Fibonacci's. It likes to hit it a lot, guys. So as you stack lower and lower in terms of your capital exposure and you include a double or triple down approach, guys, we've been handling that for a long time, and I'm going to tell you, this breakout procedure in terms of defining is going to give you a lot of the different hits right now and explain a lot of the price action in terms of who's executing the trades. It's not always a channel trade, guys. If it is a channel trade, a lot of times it's what? It is Fibonacci's that are in line with those channel trades. So yes, swing traders can have their fun, but guys, you're going to hit a lot more in terms of your executing positive trades and booking positive trades. I always tell people, I want you to book a positive trade. Just know what it feels like. Get in, set a pricing target, do a limit order, specify your price, get into it, right? Specify your price ahead of time. Let it come to you. Don't chase it. When you see things advertised on the board, it's up 20%. You want to get into it. That's not the game we play. Not at all, excuse me. We always like to set our pricing targets below. We like the price action to come to us. We like to have it pick up our orders and get delivered up at a higher price. That is the name of the game. And guys, as we look at this, just be aware of those pricing targets. Also, for right now, I want you just to focus on the fact, have we set a little bit of a double bottom right here? Because this clearly could have been expressed on the hourly. Guys, on the hourly, we want to get in. We want to really, really dig into this. It's close, guys. It's really, really close. And I'm really particular on these. It's really close in terms of whether or not that's a double bottom. Sometimes that could be an indication of positive price movement. And in terms of whether or not it's going to go up or it's going to go down, guys, the people asking those questions are not prepared for either eventuality. We always are. How do we do that? We reserve capital in the background, ready to deploy at a lower level and cover an upside price position. You guys understand that. So you're able to have some capital exposure right now. And at the same time, guys, you're able to hammer in at a lower level with an increased capital position. That's the name of the game. Some people want to just float in all, like a $1 million trader, guys. He's not trading $1 million per trade, guys. He has a small portion of that. He may throw in $20,000 just to start with the ability to cover that. He may throw $250 in and cover with $500,000 or $1 million. You guys understand, but depending upon how large his position is. But this is always something we want to reinforce at the channel, guys. As you trade and you're looking for positive exposure, guys, when you're in a limbo, I'm going to say this, not in limbo, but when you're already in a downward sloping channel, first of all, this is going to be bullish by nature. Any downward sloping channel is going to be bullish. I'm going to tell you, it's going to want to break to the upside unless there's a collapse in the price, etc. Yo, what's going on, Nathan? Nice to see you. You're welcome. Yeah, I'd love to show you guys how to chart. We're all about trying to get into the action, and you'll definitely appreciate that previous breakout zone, this previous line here. here? Absolutely. People don't know that in terms of setting your Fibonacci's. You always want to eliminate that and begin your Fibonacci at that point of breakout and draw it up to the top, draw it up to the candle wicks. Try it on some other previous pricing charts that you have to kind of use as an empirical data set or as a data set, a chart set, etc., and see if that doesn't work. But the majority of the time, that's right where we're at right now in the golden pocket. I think that'll be very, very instrumental for you guys. So we have that double hit right now. Typically a double bottom, that'd be beautiful. I did show you earlier on in the stream, if you didn't see it, that small, it was an ascending triangle that we started from just under 30,000 to the huge trajectory that we had up above 52. And just understand that Bitcoin likes to operate on these double bottoms. Okay, so it's not a guaranteed thing. We are in a downward sloping channel. It is bullish. We have had a breakdown below that, so we could have some differentiation from that. It could be expressing a different formation right now, and I don't want to be just filled with conjecture, right? I don't want to continually do that. But as Bitcoin is already pushed, it's just being a little bit realistic right now, as it's already pushed on the upside from the breakout of this. Last night's falling wedge is like, but Bitcoin knows it's up against a little bit of a resistance right here and around this 48,500, and it's kind of pushing its way around. I think it's wiping out some options traders. So you guys, if you're in that category, I'm sorry you're in that category if you're getting wiped out. We don't like to do that. We like to have some exposure to the upside, definitely with that larger cash position to be able to cover whatever exposure you have at any potentially higher price. So we will continue to rip through this. I want to see how you guys are trading in the background. Jay, great charts in the back. Love seeing the charts. Jay is killing it, guys. He's literally just drawing out the charts before things happen. He's expressing the resistance, the support as well. Once again, a shout out to those who were watching yesterday who saw the wedge theory, because it did give you, and let me go ahead and rewind through this just a little bit into this. It did give you guys a beautiful expression and a beautiful take, I'm going to say, our beautiful entry along this. Let me get into this. About the 5 minute, I think will do it, but it gave you a perfect entry into BTC on this. Let's go into these candlesticks. It gave you that great entry along this line that we had delineated here and really, really solidified that. So yes, we were in a wedge yesterday, right? We were in a wedge formation yesterday. It did push up. The good thing about it is you were completely prepared for this move right in here. So when it poured down, if you guys saw that level of support that we drew in yesterday, guys, you would understand that level of support most of the time is going to be confluent with a Fibonacci level, guys. It's going to, when you have that 1-2 punch, it's both going to be on a Fibonacci level and it's going to be along a line of support, guys. That's when it's like, that's two things going for you, right? That's kind of a double confirmation if you can get the other indicators in line with you at that time. The RSI is low and some other things are low on different time frames maybe as well. That's when it's a good time to maybe enter into a trade, always with that heavy reserve capital in the background. That heavy reserve, maintain those heavy cash reserves, guys. You may need them at the lower levels to cover your position. We want you to have fun. We want you to make money with Bitcoin. It's been a tremendous last 2 months, guys. We've had a great degree of success. You guys continue, hammer at it. I'm glad we have this line of support. We would like to see what Bitcoin wants to do now with this new downward sloping channel again. Now let's just recap one thing. We did just come out of a downward sloping channel, okay, in this area here that got us up to this level. So we're doing kind of a repeat here. We want to hold this line of support. And when I say that, this area right in here, guys, had formulated a really nice, and it was a measured move that you guys know, but in along the lines of a support resistance, and another line, a hit along the support, guys. This was a nice channel to break out of, a perfect measured move, the height of this channel up to the current line of resistance. We would like to see that same pattern play out here. If it does not, guys, you understand we are in line with some Fibonacci's and pricing targets as we go. If guys, I'm going to say this, if we want to revisit these levels in here, this is when you would need the heavy cash reserves, right? This is when you would deploy more. You say, well, that sounds like I'm playing so light right now, I wouldn't make any money. What I want you to focus on right now is not listening to the latest channel and it's going up, I need to put all my cash in. It's going down, I need to take my cash out. I want you to focus on booking positive trades. The more positive trades you can book, guys, the better you're going to be in the market, and the more you're going to be the one telling other people what it's about to do. If you can start booking those positive trades, and I want you to focus on what that feels like, guys, in terms of that. So you'll be able to do that if you have those heavy cash reserves. So we're not in any kind of a panic mode whatsoever. We are in a downward sloping channel, which by nature is bullish, okay? By nature, it's bullish. The market can surprise us at all times. There's always differentiation, but understand that this is a downward sloping channel. The same as this was a downward sloping channel. This one worked out very well, right? So we're in another one right now. We'd like to see, let me point this out, we would like to see Bitcoin. It would give us some additional confidence if we were to be able to fulfill the top level of this channel. If we were to frustrate down, I'm going to tell you, if we were to frustrate down in this channel, we would feel a little bit differently about the expression of this, okay? So we would want to see, yes, we have a hit on resistance support. We need to see another hit along the line of resistance. So this next, I'd say, 4 to 5, 6 hours is going to be crucial in terms of the direction of Bitcoin. Okay, so long term, we love the asset class, we love crypto, and we're just excited to have you guys as members. Take the technique, take it home, and work on these trades. Work on booking positive trades in line with your swing channels, in line with your resistance, your support. You guys know the support is the entry, the resistance is going to be your take, right? So work on those, work on your key breakouts, and the fact that it pushed, guys. I'm sorry we don't have more price action to talk about right now. We're like at 47,191. We've come down a bit from our optimal take here. Small play in here. I know you guys got in and out. Freddie, great job. I know you got out quickly, but this line of this ability to enter into a positive trade here was crucial. So glad you guys had this line of support. I draw out this channel here, and let's see if Bitcoin can get back up to this level. I think it's going to be a crucial 5 to 6 hours to see if we can bust up above that. And guys, if we can, we went through that bullish flag earlier on. If we can, and I know it's not perfectly demonstrated in terms of the technical, formation here, conformance, but if we can, guys, get back up above this nice line, of resistance and turn that into support, it could be just gangbusters. So let's look forward to that. This would be an area where people may start to deploy heavier amounts of capital. So we're kind of playing right now with some trades in this region, talking about some heavy cash reserves. If we can get up above this higher level of resistance and turn that into support and above that 51,000, guys, I think you're going to see some heavier capital flow into, and I would have that heavier capital on standby, okay, and not wasted on trading when they're washing out the options all day long, guys. They're going to do that. They love to do that. That's a part of the volatility you see in the market. So enjoy yourselves and enjoy your trading. Book those positive trades. This is London with the Crypto Kingdom. It's been nice to talk to you. We will come back to you soon with more details. And let me see if I have any more questions real quickly. I think we are good. We're good to go, guys. You have a great night. And we're about to start the weekend, so that's going to be soon.